Hello, I'm Chuck Koplinski, film critic for the Illinois Times. I'm here with Daric Gates, director of a neat little feature that we have at the Route 66 Film Festival called Crooks. Daric, I gotta tell you, when I was watching the film, I was struck with how, I was just wondering what your budget was, because it looks very, very professional, and not only that, but very extensive for what you were doing.
Our budget for the whole film was $1,200.
$1,200.
$1,200.
The magic of digital filmmaking.
The magic of digital filmmaking. It was basically what we did is we looked at all our resources when we had our fingertips for free, and we shot the film mostly on Balboa Island down in Orange County. And it was a matter of going around and buying cheap 1970s wardrobe. And you notice most of the film takes place on the water because we didn't have a ton of 1970s cars and all that to, to pull off the period piece. But yeah, $1,200. We tried to stretch as much as possible.
Well, any good filmmaker, I mean, Sam Raimi comes to mind, and others who start out, often say that when you have those kind of constraints, you end up becoming more imaginative and a better filmmaker because of that. Did you find that? Definitely.
We read a book maybe a couple years ago that Robert Rodriguez wrote, Rebel Without a Crew.
Right.
And everything that he did was our Bible in how we approach this film.
As I was watching the film, one of the obvious allusions is to North by Northwest and the mistaken man syndrome. How do we get out of this situation?
Definitely.
I'm assuming that Hitchcock is a big influence on you.
I love Hitchcock. It's movies nowadays. It relies on huge effects and tricks, and I just like old-fashioned storytelling, and that's Hitchcock was the master. So that's I'm drawn to that kind of storytelling. If you can go out and tell a good story without doing a bunch of tricks, that's what I inspired.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, I think the one thing that's often missing in films today is a solid script.
Yes.
And that's always the foundation. It's often overlooked.
Definitely.
And your film definitely has that. How did the script come about, and how long did it take you to cobble it or fashion it together?
I worked with a writer friend in New York. We spit out the script in May, and we were shooting at the end of July. And it was just, I've always been fascinated with Nixon. He was the first president that I studied in history that was involved in scandal, and so many conspiracies involved around Watergate, and happened to be watching a lot of Hitchcock at the time, and I kind of took that idea of North by Northwest, Cary Grant getting stuck in a crazy situation, and we kind of made our own tale out of that. But really quick process.
How long did it take you to shoot, and was there anything that happened that then made you have to change anything that you had planned as far as the story or shooting, or did it go pretty smoothly?
It was pretty smooth. I mean, pulling off a 1970s action film on $1,200 is very hectic, but you have to rely on creativity versus solving a problem with a checkbook like most filmmakers do.
Right.
We shot on, I think it was 4 weekends. I would have shot all the way through. It was availability of the actors,
sure,
since we were so low budget. But yeah, it was 4 weekends. The shoot was really smooth. I will say one cool thing that we did that I was proud of, our online editor and compositor, we had our actress, there's a scene where they're driving in a 1970s Porsche, and she couldn't drive a stick. So what we did was we went out and we projected green onto a wall in my friend's apartment. And there we went and took digital pictures of the car. And then we went out and shot, outside the car, what the car looked like as it's passing by to the alley. We were able to composite those 3 layers together, so it looks like they're sitting in a car. It definitely has that rear projection feel. But
and that's
the technology that we have, and that's the style
of the 50s.
Yeah, definitely. So that's kind of an homage to that.
It all comes around, doesn't it? One way or the other.
Yeah.
So how's the film been received at other film festivals?
This is the first festival. We just finished it a couple months ago. So this is the first festival.
Okay.
This is the first festival, so we'll see how it goes.
We're going to build on that, and I have a feeling that you're going to have a lot of success with this.
Yeah, you live and learn and keep making them.
Exactly right. And at $1,200, you can keep making them.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, I'm Chuck Koplinski. This is Daric Gates. Come out to the film festival. A lot of neat stuff, including Crooks.
You good?
I think so. I hope so. I hope you could hear us.